Good evening, everyone. This is Senior Forecaster Cameron back here once again, and I am here to go over the potential of significant severe weather as we get towards day on Friday here, guys. We decided to do a video blog tonight instead of a live blog, given that there's still some uncertainties regarding the potential of severe weather on Saturday, on Friday, and we feel as though we will be able to go live a little better tomorrow when we'll be able to give you guys a little bit more of what data has to say once this thing gets sampled, once guidance gets those that sample data in from this system. We should be able to have a much better idea on what we're potentially could be dealing with as we get towards day on Friday here, guys. So here's the European model here, but before I start on the Euro here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the day 4 and day 5 risk area here, guys, because like I said before, we are hurricane weather watchers, but we do have several people on our page that has family and friends, you know, in Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia here, guys. So this could be impacting not only us here in Arkansas, but the entire southern half of the country here, guys. So this could be a very, very potent severe weather event. Here it goes from day 4. A multi-day severe weather episode is expected between day 4 and day 5 from the Arklatex region into the deep south vicinity here. An intense mid to upper level trough over the Four Corners region in northwest Mexico early on Friday will eject eastward into the southern plains by 12Z Saturday, which is Saturday morning. At the surface, low pressure will develop over Texas and shift east-northeast towards central Arkansas as we get towards Saturday morning here, guys. Now, that's the thing at this current time here is what I've been noticing over the last couple of runs is that the low pressure is starting to trend further towards the northwest here, guys, and this is going to be what's going to be playing out here, guys, is the teleconnections as we get towards Friday and Saturday here, guys. The only reason why I say that, I'm going to show you real fast, is that we have negative PNA out here, which represents trough. That represents an upper level trough across the western half of the United States. At the same time, we have what we call positive NAL and positive AL. So that represents ridging out east. So what you got basically going on here is basically something like this, where you have below normal readings across the western half of the United States, and you got above normal readings across the eastern half of the United States, with high pressure in control over here, and with an upper level low really taking place across the western half of the United States. So cold and stormy, dry and warm for west United States, and then the eastern half of the United States here, guys. And the clash zone between the two normally results in severe weather, given that you're going to have a basically, like I said, clash in air masses between the cold Canadian air and the very warm Gulf of Mexico here, guys. So this is where your potential of severe weather will lie, from the Arklatex region and then eventually into the southeast. As this trough begins to push eastward, it will start moving this high off towards the east here, guys. So that would mean the shift into the southeastern part of the United States over Friday into Saturday here, guys. So I've been getting a lot of reports, not a lot of reports, a lot of comments about the potential of this thing going moderate at some given point in time. Given the shear profiles I am looking at right now, I would not be surprised to see a moderate probably come day 1, day 2, if current trends were to continue with this. The moderate risk will more than likely be across southern Arkansas, given that's where your best instability and your best shear is likely to meet up at this current time here, guys. For our folks in central and north Arkansas, and I talked about this last night about the 15% and the 30% risk area. The 15% now includes the majority of the state. Okay, I want everyone that is in that 15% or greater to have a plan, have a severe weather plan in action, know where to go when severe weather strikes here, guys, because even if you're not in the 30%, you still are at a risk for the potential of severe weather here, guys. We've seen it before. Even with a 15%, it could easily upgrade from there here, guys. So 15% area is equivalent to a slight risk. 30% area is equivalent to an enhanced risk. So you have a day 4 enhanced risk already out for the Arklatex and northwest Mississippi and northeastern Texas here, guys, with the 15% includes the majority of eastern Texas, southeast Oklahoma, the majority of Arkansas, and the majority of Louisiana here, guys, and far western Mississippi here. But that carries over to day 5, where you have the potential over here. And also eastern Arkansas, you're in at 15%, and that 30% is for Mississippi and Alabama over here in the Dixie Alley for the potential of tornadoes, damaging winds, and also the potential of hail here, guys. So, as I said before, that's something that we're just got to keep a very close eye on here as we get towards the Friday and Saturday time frame. I've been seeing, posts about, there's several limiting factors, which is true. There is several limiting factors, but I do not want you guys to let your guard down. Today is Tuesday. We are still at least 3 days away from this event. The time is now to have a plan in action just in case something takes off on Friday here, guys. I don't want you guys waiting to the last second. Know where to go when severe weather strikes. Know where to go when there's a tornado warning. Be ready for possible severe thunderstorm watches. Be ready for possible tornado watches here, guys. Be ready for an possible upgrade to moderate. Just be ready come Friday here, guys. Regardless of what happens, regardless where you are, be ready in the natural state come Friday here, guys. So here's the 0Z GFS. And what you're looking at here is the 850 millibar level, and this is your mid-level shear. That I'm going to show you guys the low level and the upper level here in just a little bit here, guys. I think I went a little too far out, but here we are Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. There's your system here, and like I said before, I've been seeing guidance trend further and further and further to the northwest here, guys. If the trend continues, you're going to get a possible upgrade down here in southern Arkansas and southwestern Arkansas here, guys. This trend is not our friend. If you do not want severe weather here in the natural state, you need this to be either going through Arkansas or south of Arkansas here, guys. So with this being to the northwest or in northwest Arkansas, this is where you're going to have the potential of seeing severe weather, particularly in the central and eastern half, central, eastern, and southern half of the state here, guys. So there's your low pressure here. There's your warm front if you go with the GFS here, guys. And I'm going to tell you something about GFS. GFS is extremely progressive with this system, but it still does have the potential of severe weather here, guys. So there's your low pressure here. You're looking at 850 millibar level, and your surface wind is going to come out of southeast, but your aloft winds are going to come out of the southwest. And this is what is concerning me at this current time here, because with aloft winds coming out of the southwest, you're going to develop a cap in place. You're going to develop a cap. This flow is going to come straight out of Mexico here, guys. So there's going to be a lot of dry air kind of filtering in the upper levels. So that could put a cap in place for Friday afternoon here, guys. And if that were to take place and that limits the rainfall and thunderstorm activity on Friday, you're going to have the potential of seeing severe weather come Friday evening and Friday night here, guys. So listen for here's Friday evening, and here we go into Friday night and into early Saturday morning here, guys, and you really start seeing that shear pick up, especially across central and eastern Arkansas here, guys. And I'm growing very concerned about the potential of significant damaging wind potential in eastern Arkansas, western Missouri, western Tennessee here, guys, along the Mississippi River as we get towards Friday night or early Saturday morning. And this should be kicking out of here as we get towards the Saturday morning and Saturday evening time frame here, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the precipitation type here. And like I said before, we are dealing with the potential of severe weather, but there could be in northern Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas, we've been talking about this, the potential of winter weather. Should not be anything significant. I don't think it's going to be a winter storm out of this, but there could be a possible winter weather advisory in northwest Arkansas as we get towards Saturday morning and into the day on Saturday here. But the one thing that's concerning me about the potential of winter weather is, 1, how fast does the cold air get here? 2, how strong is the system? 3, does the severe weather ongoing rob the moisture needed to provide the winter weather behind this thing? So there's a lot of things working against winter weather at this current time here, but I'm not going to rule it out, particularly in northern Arkansas at this current time here. We don't have it in our forecast as of yet, but we are keeping a very close eye on that potential for winter weather. But severe weather right now has our focus big time, because this could be one of the first significant severe weather events for the natural state for the year 2020 here, guys. So that should be it in terms of Saturday here, guys. And that's the GFS. Now, I'm going to go over, and this is what I was talking about before, is make sure you have a plan in place. Make sure you're ready to go. I posted this on the page a little earlier, but I want to make sure everybody sees this to have a plan ready come Friday here, guys. Make sure that you have a plan in action, because if you don't, here comes Friday, you have severe weather, then you're caught off guard here, guys. So we're trying to make sure that everybody's ready to go. You know, there's always that bust potential. We talk about this all the time, about the potential of a bust. I would much rather for you guys to be safe than sorry. I'd rather for this thing to bust and you guys be safe versus this thing completely takes off and you guys don't have a plan in action at all. So we are giving you guys these couple of days heads notice that we are expecting severe weather on Friday, and we want you guys to be ready to go come Friday here, guys. So I'm going to show you the NAM model here real fast here. So here's the NAM, and the NAM model is just now getting range for Friday here. And this is what I was talking about before. On Thursday, you had the potential of probably some light showers across northern Arkansas. I've gone 40% for the potential of rainfall on Thursday here. But what ends up happening is late Thursday night and early Friday morning, you get what we call a weak EML, that is elevated mixed layer, starting eliminating from northern Mexico. And basically what that means, it means it's putting a cap over the natural state. It's putting a cap over the potential of morning convection here, because if we had morning convection, I wouldn't be so much worried about the potential of severe weather on Friday. But with that being said, with that cap in place, you're not going to get much of shower activity. And here we are right around Friday morning here, guys. A little bit of shower activity, but nothing major. Here we are Friday afternoon at noon. Southeast winds really gusting at around 15 to 25 miles per hour here, guys. And we will have wind graphics out come tomorrow for the potential wind gusts here, guys. I did not mean to do that. But there's your system in here, and I'm going to go ahead and draw this out for you guys here, guys. So just bear me for just a second. There's your low pressure. There's your draw line. This is going to be a draw line setup more than likely if you were to go with NAM. And then there's your warm front stretching into Missouri. So you got these southerly to southeasterly winds at the surface really filtering in across the natural state, and then you got these westerly to even southwesterly winds coming behind the system in here, guys. So there's your shear really starting to take place with a deepening low pressure across northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas here, guys. And there's your warm front, and then there's your cold air trying to wrap behind this thing. So this system is gaining straight, and appears, if you were to go with the NAM, that it is further north with this run than the GFS is. So there we are as we get towards Friday afternoon and Friday evening here. And what the NAM wants to do is develop basically a squall line that develops here. And one thing that's concerning me about this quote-unquote squall line is that you're going to have an insane amount of shear. And with that being said, if the dynamics do not get here in time, that this could end up being a significant damaging wind threat with a potential isolated tornado deal versus this thing being a full-blown basically tornado outbreak here, guys. So there's, like I said before, there's limitations. There's a lot of uncertainty with this. If the dynamics get here pretty quick, you can basically kiss the potential of a squall line goodbye until the dynamics start pulling away. And by the time that happens, this thing is going to be in Mississippi and Alabama here, guys. So there's a lot of uncertainty going on with this system here. So there's something that we just have to keep a very close eye on here. But this is what the NAM model does. It really strengthens this line as it gets towards the 8 p.m., 9 p.m. time frame for western Arkansas. And then it just plows its way through the state as it gets towards Friday night and early Saturday morning. And then here we are Saturday morning, and really gets to the eastern Arkansas before the daybreak hours here. And then right around 6 a.m., it's gone. It's in Mississippi here, guys. So the NAM, progressive, and it's also kind of lagging behind with the dynamics here, guys. I'm going to show you that real quickly here. So like we said, you just saw, the line was in Mississippi by 6 a.m. on Saturday here, guys. So I'm going to show you something real fast, and this is with the NAM model. And like I said, here we are on Friday. Really strong upper level jet here, guys. This thing could easily be the strongest system we've seen in quite some time here in the natural state here, guys. So like I said before, it really starts taking off as you get towards Friday evening into Friday night here. But your dynamics kind of lags behind just a tad with the NAM. So you would look at more the potential of significant damaging winds versus the potential of tornadoes, which significant damaging winds could be just as bad as dealing with a tornado threat here, guys. But you cannot discount the tornado threat because you've got aloft wind screaming at 70 to 75 knots at the mid to upper levels, mid to low levels, and then you've got your southeasterly winds 15 to 20 miles per hour at the surface. So you're going to have a lot of turning of the winds as we get towards Friday evening and Friday night here, guys. So as we get towards Saturday morning, your line's here, your dynamics is here, guys. So, and it also remains neutral. This is what's going to keep this thing from taking off to being a tornado outbreak if you were to go with this particular run. But I want to warn you about the NAM. The NAM, especially at 80, 81, 82, 83, 84 hours out, has little accuracy in terms of what happens for you guys. So just keep that in mind. The NAM model is just now getting to Friday and Saturday with this, so we're just have to keep a very close eye on future runs with this here. So if you want my opinion about day 3, I think day 3 would more than likely include an expansion of the enhanced risk, an expansion of the slight risk. I don't know if we would go moderate day 3. If it does, we're going to be in some trouble, but I fully do expect at least an expansion of the enhanced risk to probably more than likely include central and eastern Arkansas for the potential of at least damaging winds, significant damaging winds with this system here, guys. I'm going to show you the 850 millibar, and this is just for the NAM. And the NAM model really takes off with the 850 millibar right around Friday evening to Friday night here, guys, and it really just takes off. Look at there, right around midnight Friday night and early Saturday morning here. You've got mid to low level winds screaming around 75 to 80 knots. You start getting aloft winds that strong, you're going to have the potential of significant damaging winds along with the potential of tornadoes here, guys. And some of those tornadoes could be on the strong side if you were to go with the NAM model here, given that you have southeast winds going into this very strong aloft field here, guys. So aloft, shear wise, you can go ahead and just triple check it. You got the shear. Lift, you got the lift. Instability, you're looking at instability here, guys. I'm going to show you the instability real quickly here, but with shear profiles this strong, you won't need much. I promise you, you won't need much. So here we are right around Friday afternoon here, and keep this in mind with the NAM. With a cap in place, you're going to have the instability values kind of jumping all over the place. So you're going to see models saying low instability. You're going to have some models saying high-end instability here, guys. So instability is something that you get a very good idea as you get closer to day 1 versus you're dealing with this thing 3 to 4 days out here, guys. So the instability is still kind of in question here. But even with this, guys, and here we are Friday night. I'm going to show you Friday night real fast here. And instability values jump to near 1,000. You start getting these kind of profiles across southern Arkansas and southeast Arkansas, you're going to have the potential of significant damaging winds and also the potential of a significant tornado down here as well, with shear profiles that insane here. So as said before, we're not expecting this to be an outbreak by any stretch of the matter here at this current time. There's a lot of things that need to come together for this to be an outbreak. We need the dynamics to match up. We need this jet to turn negative. We need a little more instability. We need a lot of things need to come together in order for this thing to be an outbreak. So there's still uncertainties. And if you're seeing that quote-unquote outbreak wording going around on Facebook or Twitter, ignore it for right now, because that's what we call hype. We're not certain that this is going to be an outbreak. There's a lot of things limiting the potential of an outbreak. A significant severe weather event is looking more likely. But at this time, I am not going to go and say outbreak, given that there is still uncertainties on the overall track of the low, how the dynamics are going to play out, if the dynamics lag. If the dynamics are about a good 500 miles away from this, your severe weather risk is going to take a somewhat of a nosedive, and this is going to become mainly a damaging wind threat. But if your dynamics meet up, if everything meets up, this could be a very significant deal Friday night into early Saturday morning here, guys. So that is why I'm telling you to go ahead and have a plan in action just in case the worst case scenario happens. Worst case scenario, this ends up being a tornado outbreak. I hate saying that, but with everything lining up as what I'm seeing right now, worst case scenario is this thing turns out to be a tornado outbreak. The best case scenario, as I see right now, is that the dynamics lag, the system outpaces the dynamics, and you end up with the potential, yes, damaging winds, but the tornado threat would be a little lower with this here, guys. So severe weather is expected, but the magnitude of severe weather still remains in the air at this current time here, guys. We will have a better idea on this severe weather event as we get towards tomorrow, and especially on Thursday here, guys. So I thank you guys for tuning into this blog. Remember, have a severe weather plan in action. Be ready and be prepared when severe weather strikes come Friday and early Saturday morning here, guys. So y'all take care, and I will catch you guys tomorrow on our live video blog.